For the entirety of my football fan lifetime, I haven't seen quite a proper title race like this one. La Liga season 2020-2021 is turning out to be a headache for managers, players and fans alike. After every single match day, it becomes a mayhem as the favoritism shifts from Atletico Madrid to Barcelona and, well, Real Madrid. With this potentially being the last preview of the season in this channel, it's pretty much all or nothing for Messi and company to try and get the right momentum just before the last 3 La Liga games. Diego Simeone on his own right will attempt to regroup his troops for one final charge as well. We all know that beggars can't be choosers, so whatever the method is to win this game, we need to back the team. Welcome to the preview of the most important match of the season, Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome to a very special episode of #Unfilter as we take a look at La Liga Matchday 35, Koeman's Barcelona versus Simeone's Atletico. We will dwell into the predicted lineups, the tactics and player selections all in due course, but before, remember to drop us a like and subscribe to the channel as we head into the recent form of both two teams. After a very disappointing performance against Granada last Thursday, Barcelona finds themselves in the 3rd position in the league table. It is very easy to understand the despair brought to the Barcelona fans by the clash against Granada, and particularly even to myself. The Catalan club has seemingly entered a loop of bottling fantastic results throughout this entirety of the season, something that has become a normality even with managers prior like Quique Setién and Valverde, ever really since they lost the 2nd leg against Roma in the quarterfinals of the Champions League games a few years ago. This loss is devastating if we are being honest, because even if Barcelona were to win all of their 4 remaining games, including this one against Atletico, they will have to keep their fingers crossed that Real Madrid didn't achieve the same. Barcelona are way ahead on goal difference, however in La Liga it's a little bit different. Head-to-head is taken into consideration for tie-breaking and not goal difference. Given such scenario, the title race will heavily hinge on the results of this matchday, matchday 35. Sevilla will travel to Madrid and Atletico will face Barcelona at the Camp Nou, in what many say will eventually be the deciding of the title. And to be honest, that might as well be the case, because in my opinion, if Barcelona do not get the 3 points against Atletico Madrid, there is 0 chance, absolutely no possibility that they can go onwards and win La Liga by the end of the season. But before giving you my prediction, it's very early still in this video, I want to take you back to the game against Granada because that showcased some very worrying signs that we must consider. The first of these is that the defense was not at all concentrated, and this really showed a lack of focus that has been synonymous with the Catalan Giants over the last few seasons. Comebacks can't really happen unless there is control, and there can't be any control if there is no solidity at the back. These lapses of concentration also became an issue for the following game, Valencia versus Barcelona. After a string of missed chances in a goalless first half, Valencia took an unexpected lead through Gabriel Paulista after some dreadful defending from Barcelona. The side showed some great character to come back from a goals deficit against such a tricky opponent away from home, but still at the heart of the problem was yet again Clement Lenglet. While he has enjoyed a good patch of form lately, Clement Lenglet just does not seem to be at his composed best anymore. His errors at the back continue to pile up and often they end up costing Barcelona dearly. He just cannot seem to shake off his misfortunes if we are being honest, as every set of good performances are followed by a comical mistake that just has dire consequences. Although his distribution has always been a sort of redeeming factor for this player, against Valencia he even made some ridiculous decisions with the ball at his feet. There are plenty of comments that we can take away from these 2 games, but this is something that we're going to be doing in our next section of key players. Beforehand, we're going to be focusing on Atletico Madrid and how just well have they performed in the past 2 games. In what shapes up to be one of the hottest league titles in recent history, my god, Atletico Madrid must take some responsibility in making this as tight as it currently is. The best worst display I have seen from a team was in their game against Athletic Bilbao. Although Atletico Madrid were in charge, controlling the game, they lacked the luck of champions as every decision and split ball went the other way. Although Atletico Bilbao were abysmal coming into this game, having lost 3 and drawn the other 5 of the last 8 games, they managed to pull out the impossible in beating the La Liga title leaders. And that was honestly the point where I thought La Liga will fall into Barcelona's hands. Furthermore, this shaky and unlucky turmoil of a performance continued into their next following game against Elche. After disallowed goals and resilience from Atletico, Elche began piling on the pressure in the dying moments of the game. A dubious handball was given against Kieran Trippier in the final 2 minutes of regulation time, and Elche shot an incredible free kick that went into the back of the net but was dramatically called off for a penalty. This decision could have honestly decided La Liga, because that penalty, as we all know now, was missed by their player. The pressure now was shifted back into Real Madrid and into Barcelona, who were gonna be facing Atletico Madrid in a very tricky home game. If there is one thing to take away from these matches, is that Atletico Madrid are playing with pressure, and a lot of it at all times. In contrast to earlier in the season when the two sides faced at the Wanda Metropolitano, now it's Diego Simeone's team which have the spotlight over them. It's Atletico Madrid who are bottling it, and it's them who could make the ridicule and not Barcelona. It will be key for both sides to see how they deal with this sort of narrative. For Atletico, Simeone's managerial setup will have to be decisive, and we will just see how much he trusts on his players. Let's now remember the game that set Atletico Madrid's season in a downwards motion, the first leg against Chelsea. In that game, El Cholo Simeone decided to opt to impose the system on his players rather than the other way around, and defend a nil-nil draw to try and nick a last-minute winner. Is this courageous? Is this risky? It's far from it, in my opinion. If you ask me, it's kind of cowardly. And it's gonna be very interesting to see if he takes this approach to the Camp Nou. At the end of the day, he's defending a 2-point lead at the top of the table. Will he go with a back 3 formation, or will he go with the normal 2 lines of 4? Moving on now, let's take a look at the key players for this duo, and let's start off with Barcelona. In that game against Granada, we saw one player above all in terms of creation, one player who gets a lot of stick from me, but one that I admit will be crucial for the upcoming game. Sergio Busquets rolled back the years with a beautiful demonstration of passing awareness and control. Busquets quarterbacked the game, creating key chances for Lionel Messi with beautiful precise passes, spreading the ball out wide to stretch the Granada defense and control the tempo of the game. Busquets was a joy to watch against Granada, and Barcelona are gonna be needing him in his best form if they are to open up Atletico Madrid in the upcoming game. But even with that, there's still one more key midfielder that they need to rely on, and that is Frenkie de Jong. Against Valencia, De Jong was simply flawless, incredible with his ball progression and distribution, with a passing success rate of also similar to Busquets at 91%. Tireless as ever, he covered every blade of grass with pressing and recovering up the ball until the final whistle. He really was a box-to-box. The 23-year-old late arriving runs into the box have been a cornerstone of this incredible evolution this season, and that facet of his game proved to be a revelation once again in the game against Valencia. Jordi Alba floated a cross into the box that found De Jong, who had made a sensational run into the box and leapt to meet the ball. His header was well struck and forced Jasper Cillessen into a save, but the rebound fell kindly for Griezmann, and the Frenchman slotted it home to hand Barcelona the crucial advantage at the Mestalla. This exact moment must be replicated against Atletico Madrid so that Barcelona find themselves space and chances that otherwise won't simply be there. And well, last but not least, we have to mention Barcelona's in-form attacking duo of Messi and Griezmann. The Argentine and the Frenchman have finally begun to gel with a lethal effect. After a faltering start to their partnership, Ronald Koeman's new setup with the two forwards playing alongside each other has not only helped them understanding but also improved each other's one's individual output. At this stage of the season, Messi and Griezmann together as a duo just seems more organic. With 56 goal contributions already in La Liga, it seems that this kind of false 9 or double false 9 even sort of formation suits them incredibly. And this is going to be something that will be the main asset for Koeman against Atletico Madrid. Jose Maria Gimenez and Stefan Savic will have a very hard time marking them because they don't know exactly who to mark. It's going to be wonderful to watch, and let's hope that they can continue their form in the next game against them. With that being said, here is my lineup for the upcoming game. Ter Stegen, Mingueza, Piqué, Araujo. Serginho Dest, Frank de Jong, Busquets and Alba. Pedri behind the two forwards that you already know who they are, Messi and Griezmann. With Atletico Madrid, it's very simple to name the key players. The first one is the Uruguayan, Luis Suarez. He will be a hard pill to swallow, and specifically against a frail defense like Barcelona, one who will be marking him for the very first time ever. My goodness. God save us all, as this might as well be a hysterical watch. This season, Luis Suarez has been tremendously effective for Atletico Madrid, scoring 19 goals in 28 matches. The reason why El Pistolero is looking this season now as a new player completely is that he is forming part of a side that is acting for his deficiencies. At Barcelona, Suarez didn't have the luxury service of a personal delegation of defenders to cover up his ground. At Atletico, he does. However, if we take a look at the performances of Luis Suarez of late, he hasn't really been that effective, albeit he's coming back from an injury, but it's also because Simeone is kind of reverting to the old formation that he had before, and it's not really suiting him and his playstyle right now. Here is where another runner, perhaps someone that will be very pacey and knows how to interpret the space, could be coming in handy for him, and luckily he has one in Marcos Llorente, and God is he actually pretty good. His mobility and versatility will make it hard for whichever defender that would indeed mark him. Just mix Llorente's speed and intelligence to exploit the spaces with that creativity from Thomas Lemar or even someone like Joao Felix, and you have a perfect combination to distract Barcelona's defense for enough time to stretch wide the ball and leave spaces in behind for the steady struggling Luis Suarez to punish his previous club. This is why the formation which Simeone selects will be extremely important to devise a proper game plan in the case of Koeman. Trippier and Yannick Ferreira Carrasco could out themselves as potential crossing outlets, and likewise Hermoso could be an important player to try and diminish, as his passing and distribution could be the source for a lot of problems of Barcelona. Koeman will have to make his tactics accurate and proper, and most importantly, his ever-shaky game management must stand out. Simeone, in my book, already has more experience when it comes to duels of this magnitude, so Koeman must really put some effort into this and communicate effectively his plan to Schreuder, who will be sitting in the bench whilst the Dutchman watches from the stands. With that being said, here is my lineup for Atletico Madrid. I expect to see Oblak, Gimenez, Savic and Hermoso in the defense. Then we will have in the midfield Trippier, Koke, Saul and Yannick, with Llorente, Suarez and Lemar up top. With all of this being considered, I'm really expecting this game to be very tight. I do see Simeone making Atletico Madrid defend a little bit, but if we are being honest, they will still need to come out forward and try to win this game. This 3-point is important for both parties. If we are being completely honest, it's difficult for me to come on here and tell you guys that Barcelona can get a result. It's gonna be very tough for them to try and do so, but I believe perhaps a 2-1 victory is what awaits. There is certainly going to be some scenes in this one, so you might as well want to watch it. And remember, come here afterwards so we can react live together. That's going to be everything for right now, guys. Hope you have enjoyed. Be sure to let me know in the comment box down below who do you think is going to be winning between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. Did you think that I missed anything, or are any of my points mistaken for whatever means or whatever reason? If they are, let me know. Like I say always, I'm open to discussions and suggestions. And yeah, indeed, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao.